Hi guys, this is Lakshmi Manchu. Are you ready to start coming back to life? I opened my Instagram only to find that everyone I know is a chef. No, actually cross that, a master chef. From a 4-course meals to 5-layer cakes, everyone is creating pieces of art at home. Though if 2020 was a cake, it would probably be a biryani flavored with big chunks of elaichi in it, don't you think? In case you did not get the menu, let me tell you that we as human beings everywhere are survivors. And this year may have been challenging, but look at how we've made the most of it in every way and only grown from this. On my episode today are 2 girl bosses with golden hearts and sweet teeth. My first guest tonight is often called the macaron queen of India and has actually managed to create a little piece of Paris in Mumbai with her homegrown bakery chain, Le 15 Patisserie. My next guest impressed everyone with her stint on Masterchef Australia. Since then, she has found unique ways to share her joy of desserts with the world and calls herself a pastry rebel and not a pastry chef. I'm thrilled to welcome businesswomen, girl bosses, and pastry supremos, Pooja Dhingra and Anna Polyviou. The whole point of this show coming together is I'm a talk show host, and I've always felt, not always, especially now, that the whole world is going through something together. So prep yourself. This is a quiz, and all you need to do is just answer as quickly as you can. So we go through these questions. It's the quarantine shine quiz. Ready?
I'm scared. Okay. Oh no, is this like one word answers and we just scream it out?
You can elaborate it, but quickly as possibly. So here we go. As quickly as possible, how was your day before the quarantine and the lockdown, and how is it now? A typical day, just what are the differences?
Okay, who goes first?
You go, Anna, you go.
Okay. Busy, crazy, unappreciative, just go, and no breather. Quarantine isolation happened, stood back, reviewed my life, reviewed loved ones, appreciated everything, and appreciated the simple things in life.
Wow.
Can I just say same what she said?
Really. So you really felt like stepping back really connected you to what was really important, and I would think so. 2 discoveries you made about yourself in this time. One good, one not so good. Pooja, you go.
Oh wow, these are really intense questions to answer very fast.
Yeah, you gotta think quick. This is I think pack a lot.
I think for me it was actually a very hard stop to really stop and think of my whole life and how I've been living it. So I think the discovery that I made was just realigning with my life goals, my purpose, my passions, which was something I discovered and something which I don't know. I just learned how to take each day at a time. I think for me that has never made more sense in my life. And there was a lot of anger that because and a lot of grief because your plans suddenly get derailed, and then I had to suddenly learn how to deal with that. So it was just like I just learned more about myself, I think.
That's a good thing. That is a really good thing. Always knowing more about you. That's the only reason you're born, to know more about yourself. And then we get carried away about school, college, career, man, woman, child, and then die. Like the whole purpose of finding yourself has gone out of the window. But I think we're really lucky to have found that for everybody on this planet at one given time because of this lockdown. What do you think, Hannah? What was one good thing about you and one bad thing? One not so good. I won't call it bad. We're perfect. What's not so good?
I think the good part was compassion for people. I think understanding people's situations and being grateful for what we've had. Like I think, I'm better off than what other people are. So some compassion and appreciation. I think that's one thing. And you said you were angry at the start. I was angry.
angry, I was upset, I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. My team at the hotel at the time had been stood down, and they were stood down via an email. And I was angry for that, because I think a common courtesy of a phone call or a sit down is important. And again, we go back into compassion. So I was.
Is that why you is it the same time when you quit the same hotel that you've been working in?
Yeah, I decided to move on.
7.5 years. That's a lot of years to invest in a place and to leave. Yeah,
it is, and we had just a different direction. You know, I had I wanted to go this way, and I didn't want to hibernate during this period of time. I think we still had to deliver to our guests, or obviously in a different situation. And I think an email, I didn't appreciate that. I think we do need to have compassion, and that was part of it. So, you know, we talk about
that's fantastic.
So you know, moved on. But
Go ahead.
And that's it. You know, just moved on, and 7.5 years. But you learn so much from an establishment as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a corporate environment completely for you to build your own, right? So 2 new recipes that you created during this time, one that was amazing and one not that you, honesty, tell me the truth.
Well, I can tell you actually, so I just posted just recently about the caramel slice. Okay, it's a basic recipe that a lot of household, you know, mums make at home, you know, for kids' parties and everything. And I just couldn't get it right. You know, I was reading recipes, and then they said you cook it on the stovetop, the condensed milk, and then bake it. And I couldn't understand why I would cook off, you know, something that caramelizes and then finish it off in the oven. Would it not burn? And it burnt, and then it shrunk, and then I didn't let my base cool down. So basic principles. And I was like, I have to get this right. I cannot have a mum at home, which I know mums cook amazing, and I can't do this. You know, and it's a basic recipe. So I'm like, it's the best ever. Like, it's the best. I have to get it right. And then I think, you know, like just the other day I did for a cooking class for India, and it was basically my tart, and it's just delicious. So it's like a chocolate tart, and then we do a vanilla salted caramel, and then we do caramelize some cocoa nibs, and then we do a chocolate ganache, and then a chocolate disc, so you get the crunch, and then microwave sponge, and then chantilly cream, and then but it's so delicious, and I still have it in the fridge.
I got goosebumps.
A little bit all the time.
I got excited.
Hey Anna, it's my birthday tomorrow. Can you send me that?
Oh my God, if I could, just, you know, one day it's going to happen, isn't it? I would definitely love to make you a cake or a tart. But yeah, 2 different things.
Happy
you know,
birthday though, Pooja. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you?
34.
Oh my God, you're such a baby. I'm so much older.
She is a baby. Look at that face. She looks like a baby too. Look at that.
I know.
It's a sugar. It's a sugar.
Pooja, did you have anything that you?
Oh, I am. So the one thing that I actually, you know, got into was, firstly, I really felt like I was back in college. Like I was back when I started level 15, because I'm in my parents' home. I'm baking from the same kitchen that I baked with, you know, 11, 12 years ago, the same thing. So I think for me, it was really about appreciating ingredients, because there was just so much scarcity for us for.
Wow, that's important.
Yeah. So just like basic things, like I was just grateful that I got butter, sugar, flour, you know, like it was, and then also like when I was, you know, sharing recipes online, nothing was available. So everybody was like, okay, how do we do this? So really keeping in mind that everything you have to do is simple. So I made these ghee cookies, you know, with just went to the pantry and saw what is it that everyone will have at home. And I knew that ghee, atta, you know, everyone is going to have sugar. So let's make something with that. So it really pushes you to think out of what you know, and this framework that you have of how baking should work. Another thing that was really good was actually a very simple olive oil, like chocolate cake, very basic, but I made it in a pressure cooker. So a lot of Indian homes don't have ovens. So the request I get the most is like, how can I bake a cake without an oven? And I was like, okay, wait, let let me try this. And we did it in the pressure cooker. And the number of people that have made that cake after, it's just been amazing to see that response of now everyone can bake this at home without an oven, which is great.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was good. And disasters as well. I mean, I came back to my home kitchen, and I always say about how macaroons change with ovens that you bake in, and now I'm like, after 10 years I'm making them in my home oven, and my first batch was a disaster, and I was like, wait,
You can't say that loud.
I was like, did I
cannot make a bad batch of macaroons.
No, I made many. I'm very open about it. But that for me, it was like, oh, I need to relearn everything.
Wow.
It was good. It was good.
That was fantastic.
Very humbling. Yeah.
So would you not be able to text or talk on the phone, or not have internet during this lockdown? Which one would you choose?
Oh, I need internet. I don't want to talk to anybody else anyway.
But don't forget, with the internet, you can call and text still.
Now you're getting smart with my questions. Yeah, I would choose the same thing. A good thing that happened this lockdown for you. I think we spoke about that you got closer, learning more about yourself.
I think I've eaten the best food at home this lockdown, because my dad started cooking every day. And I think that has been, I think, the biggest. So every day was like, oh, what are we eating? And I was like, I haven't missed eating outside food at all. So I think that was the best. Actually, just reconnecting the family was the greatest part of this whole thing.
Oh, and for you, Anna?
The best food I've had is my cooking, because obviously I'm researching a lot more. I was doing bao buns with crispy pork the other day, and then I made my mum spanakopita. So I opened up the phyllo pastry and made it spinach and feta and everything else in there. But making doughs again, I think that's really, that's one thing, because when we do doughs at a workplace, we're doing mass production. But to do one loaf and stuff, and even like and everyone's doing sourdoughs now, aren't they? So I don't know.
Yes, it's the big thing, sourdough.
And banana bread. I don't know if in India, but banana bread. Oh, God. People go nuts, But what I've loved, though? Cleaning out my kitchen. I spent 10 hours scrubbing, organizing, labeling. I feel very relaxed with it.
Oh, that's a great thing. I'm a label lady. I walk around with a label maker. I love labels. So, did you get in touch with anybody that you lost touch with, like a surprise long lost friend? Because we seem to have connected, and someone that made you feel happy, or you were like, wow, why wasn't I in touch with this person? Was there anybody like that?
I think for me personally was more about just texting people and calling people and seeing that they're okay. So I went through my phone and then started calling everyone from my phone. So people that I hadn't heard from or spoken to, I just started calling them all. So I would either call or text and just went through my whole phone. Especially people and there's a lot of people out there that have lost their jobs here, especially publishers. So publications have lost their jobs. Yes, hospitality. Friends of mine that are actors, their jobs have been on standstill.
Yeah.
What about our cameramen that behind the scenes of filming, we forget about, them and our mic person and all that, So it's not just hospitality where a lot of focus was like that in Australia. It's everyone around us as well.
Did you, Pooja, get in touch with anyone?
Oh, yeah. So all my friends from college, from Switzerland and Paris that are all around the world now, I probably only would speak to them on their birthdays, but we've been all of us have been doing Zoom calls. So, with everybody's babies and everything. So it's been great to see everyone more often. Definitely, reconnected with a lot of people for me.
Oh, that's lovely. So if you had to name a dessert based on the current times that we're living in, what would you best name it?
Mine starts with F. So I don't know if I can say that.
You can say it. This is an online show. How big would your F be? I'm ready with this. My whole hand's ready to go off.
Those sour candies that you have them and they're really sour and they're sour, but then as you keep eating them, the center becomes sweet. I think that would be this year so far, because it was terrible and terrible and terrible. But I think that a lot of good has finally come out of each individual person who's tried to navigate it. And now we're better off, and we're like, okay, we would have never done all these things if that hadn't happened. So for me, it would be.
It's important what you just said, Pooja, when you try to navigate through this. So, all right. So which room did you spend most of your time in? Wait till my question's over. That you spent most of your time during this lockdown, and it cannot be your kitchen.
Right here. Oh. This is it. This is my
Anna's like, I haven't left my kitchen.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I live here. Well, I do, but sleep on my bench. Well, for me, it's my balcony, actually. So our balcony, so we actually, when we have people over, we don't host them at a dinner table. We host them outside on the balcony, which is enclosed still. There's a heater. We have fake grass and a sitting area that sits around and a table in the middle. And
is that a common thing in Australia to sit outside in your balcony? Or just
no, not necessarily, but it is all enclosed. And I'll put the heater on and it's enclosed, and we have nice wine and we have sharing food. So everything's about snacks and everything's about sharing and interaction. I feel sometimes when people sit at a dining table, it gets a bit formal. So they lose that, and they're a bit more shy to eat. When it's there and it's sharing, they can see everyone else eating. And we've also supported local producers. So we get oysters from our local producer, we get cheese from our cheesemakers, and they get to deliver it to our house, and then we add on to it. But I've spent a lot of time entertaining on our balcony, which is in like another room. And on the sofa watching Netflix. But that's another story as well.
Yeah, that's great. A movie or a show that you saw this lockdown that you thought is great and that everybody should watch?
Oh my God. I have watched all of Netflix. All of it.
Was there something that really...
I am obsessed with K-dramas. So Korean dramas are my jam. I've watched about 7 of them back to back. And I'm really, like, my friends and I are obsessed. I'm recognizing streets now. I know. And the thing is, it always gets me so hungry because they're always eating. And I'm like, I was just like, yeah. So for me, it's just all these K-dramas.
Oh, Anna, you?
Well, I just finished off watching the Umbrella
Academy.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I love superhero. Yeah, Marvel, but it's not a Marvel, but I love superhero comic. So I watched that and I love that. And then Good Girls, Bad Girls? Where they're about it's an American show, and it's about they copy money, and then it's like this everyday household women, and then they go and rob and they're like mafia. It's great. Yeah, I love it. But it just depends. I mean, I've been watching so much TV. I love it. I've seen it all.
Wow, both your lockdown does look very shiny.
I saw all of Friends from season 1 to 10 all over again.
Are you kidding me? That's a lot of...
But that's only like 1% of what I saw. So I saw a lot. I've consumed a lot of TV. Yeah,
I'm going into my next segment. I want to dig a little deeper into your kitchen fails. So this segment is called Never Have I Ever. So if you've never, then you do this. If you have, do this. Mistaken salt for caster sugar while baking. Never, Anna. Never.
Once.
Oh.
Only because my things are labeled. That's the only reason. The label. That's the only
in my
reason.
defense, someone had measured it out and kept it for me, so I just had to add it, and I wasn't paying attention.
Oh. Did you find out right away, or was it after the cake?
No. Once we ate the cake.
Yeah, of course. It wasn't like, oh, okay. Have you ever burnt a cake?
Oh.
No.
Never. Oh, Pooja. Okay. Put baking soda instead of baking powder.
Yeah.
Oh. Over whip the cream to a point that it was curdling. Turn the timer on, but forgot to turn the timer, but forgot to turn on the switch of the oven.
Oh, no.
Have you ever done that? Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. Accidentally baked at the wrong temperature. Oh, look at you. Both of you are so different. I love that. Forgotten to add an ingredient.
Yeah.
I just spoke too soon. Both of you like that. This is a gibberish game, but baker's edition. Let me see how well you know your baking. All right. Are you both ready?
Yes.
What do I have to do? What do I have to do?
It's gibberish. Baking edition. It's something that you do during baking. It's something that you use during baking. Okay, the first one, I'm going to give it to you, girls.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Gluten. What do we have to do? Oh, that was gluten.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you.
Got me.
Fold? Eat and fold?
You got the second part right. Pooja.
Something and fold. Cut and fold.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Puree it.
Puree? Puree it?
Could be. Actually, it sounds pretty close to what you said, but it's
Preheat. Oh. Very different.
We're losing. Self-raising.
oh,
I think I just to let you say it out, and then hopefully I'll pick it up.
You have to say it like crust.
there.
Crust.
You just say it out loud to see what does it sound like, and
Crust.
you're right. It is crust. Yeah, none of you get any points for that. This is just so I get amused.
Oh, I thought I was going to win something.
We're like,
It's for my amusement. I just love looking at faces when I do this segment. They're like, what? That brings us to my last segment, which is called the Hope Minute. I'm going to give you each 1 minute, and after all our trials and tribulations and yeses and nos and highs and lows, hopes and hurts, I think we've all are finding a new normal and finding a way to coming back to life and bringing hope in all of our lives, right? So it's a minute long. Anna, I'm going to keep the timer, and I'll count it down when it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But you have a minute to give us hope about what the new normal and what we should be looking at life going forward. Yes?
Yeah.
And go.
Well, I see for what's in front of us is that people will start appreciating their family and loved ones a lot more. So it'll be that quality of time with our loved ones. There'll be hope with new visions of how we see things. So we won't necessarily be on our phones as much or in front of the TV screen, but enjoying the outdoors and, the economy to be bouncing back, people to be traveling a lot more as well, and seeing how beautiful our world really is. Sharing a meal and supporting our restaurants and also our local producers. That's very important. So, spending our money locally, and that's the hope that I see for everyone, that we start spending money within local businesses and rebuilding family lives again.
Oh,
is that okay? Oh my God, there's so much to say.
How long was that? All right, that was 50 seconds. That's awesome.
Wait, and one more. I hope that there's a big festival because I really want to go party and dance. So a big festival, lots of DJs, and we go and we dance. That I really hope with.
Yes, I went to Ibiza last year for the first time, and then I heard Solomon and Black Coffee and all these amazing DJs, and I was like, where have I been living all this life? But that was great, and I'm glad I experienced that.
I really want to go to Tomorrowland, by the way. Just to say
never been, but I've been to Burning Man 5 times. I'm a burner. Yeah, I look different. I got a lot packed inside this. Okay, so Pooja, your 1 minute starts now.
Okay, so my minute of hope just says that a lot of crisis brings out the best in us in terms of creativity, in terms of thinking, and I think that the greatest ideas come after a time of crisis. So I'm really hoping that we all come out of this stronger with a new vision for ourselves. And a lot of the things that this is bringing to the forefront is things that weren't working for us anyway. So that's just things that we were kind of not that we were not looking at. So look at your lives, make the changes that you need to, and I'm sure that we're going to all come out of this stronger. We can survive this, we can survive anything, and just compassion and gratitude for everything.
I love it. I love it. I love that both you girls had so much to say in less than 1 minute. That is really the whole minute for me, So I really, I could go on talking to you guys forever, but I think I covered most of it and what I really wanted to hear from you two beautiful people. And I really wish from the bottom of my heart, because there's no other joy in my life than when I put a morsel of food in my mouth. My daughter is a big experimenter with food. When I first gave her sushi for the first time, I was praying to all gods that she love it, and she did. And we love going places and eating food, and a great joy for she and I is food, and I know the kind of joy you create through your food in our bellies and in our hearts. And I hope you continue to do that, and that you thrive even through this pandemic, and that we will all meet each other soon in better situations. And I can't wait to meet you all in person. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming back to life with Lakshmi Manchu.
आज ही सब्सक्राइब कीजिए southbay.live